Hey everyone, it's Raj from 3CB. Lakers soon-to-be third-year guard Austin Reaves participated in the FIBA championships and overall had a pretty good performance. Let's take a closer look at some of the key things that we saw in the tournament. Firstly, on the offensive end, what we saw, in my opinion, is a continuation of what we've already seen in his first and then especially second year, which is an improvement in all facets of his offensive game, whether it's a creator on and off the ball or a scorer on and off the ball. Additionally, we saw some of the high IQ, high effort plays that we've come to expect from him as well. Generally, his confidence level continues to improve and get higher and higher, and that is really allowing him to showcase all of his offensive abilities and show just how talented he is on that side of the ball. Moving on to the other side of the ball, there was a lot of talk on Twitter about how Austin didn't play well defensively, but looking at the film, I didn't find that to be true. However, let's look a little bit deeper into that side of the ball. Firstly, Austin had some pretty tough perimeter matchups, especially later on in the tournament. For example, he was isolated against Dennis Schroeder, who was the MVP of the tournament. And when Dennis is cooking, he's a really hard player to stop for any player. And he tends to play with a lot of confidence and a lot of rhythm in international tournaments, as we saw last summer, as we saw this summer as well. Additionally, Schroeder's a guy who played with Austin for the last season, so he knows his strengths and weaknesses quite well. Additionally, USA were very, very switch heavy, which would often put Austin against bigger guys and having to guard down. That's not really his strong suit. He did the best he could, but for people to choose clips of that to say he's not a good defender is kind of silly. Thirdly, the USA in general, especially in the last two games, were just flat out horrific defensively. And to scapegoat Austin for that, again, to me, is a bit silly. However, that being said, now he's a Laker. He has growing popularity. So a lot of this kind of increased microscope and selective attention comes with the territory. Case in point, Jaren Jackson Jr., who was Defensive Player of the Year and was played off the court multiple times and was in foul trouble multiple times, there was not even close to the attention given to him as there was to Reaves. Again, though, there's that Lakers lens that we know comes with being a Laker, whether people want to admit it or not. We've seen Austin be an above average defender in the NBA. We saw it last year, particularly in the playoffs. He's a guy who teams originally tried to hunt consistently, but soon realized that they couldn't really get past him like they thought they could. And so they went away from that. The hunted, eventually became the hunter with Austin hunting out matchups of his own, especially in the playoffs, especially versus the Grizzlies. So that side of the ball doesn't even concern me that much. This was very much individuals trying to pick out certain plays against Reaves to try to paint him in a certain negative light. The last aspect I want to touch on with Reaves' game in FIBA came after they were knocked out of having a first, second round place finish by Germany. And it came in his immediate press conference following that game where he took full accountability for the loss. Here was the interview that he gave.
What went wrong? We lost. You could go down a lot of things that you could do every basketball game, win or lose. Critique yourself. We just didn't do enough.
What are your thoughts on how the resiliency that you guys showed late in that fourth quarter?
I mean, a lot. Once again, it's not enough, so I can't be satisfied with, what, happened the past, 4 days. We had to be better as a unit today after the loss to Germany, and we weren't. Defense was the issue. With the games that we lost, can't get stopped. We scored a lot. It's just wasn't enough.
He's a guy who's extremely humble, holds himself and everyone else extremely accountable. He's never gonna throw anyone under the bus, and he's always all about the work and understands what it takes to win. And you especially see what type of person a player is after a loss or when they're going through adversity. And he's constantly shown he's extremely measured, he's extremely methodical, he's extremely level-headed, and flat out, he loves the grind and the process. And that's really, in my opinion, the underpinning of his success and continued growth, and growth that we should continue to see into year 3. Overall, it was a great FIBA tournament for him. He definitely turned some heads. The coaches were extremely effuse with praise about him, especially Coach Steve Kerr. It always bodes well when you're able to hold your own within an international setting and with all the other players around you, and just have that experience and gain that confidence as well. And it's gonna be a springboard for him heading to next year. So hopefully he's able to get some downtime right now, get some rest, and get ready for this Lakers season.